Tippy time my damies, Topcat here and welcome back to the channel. Our Arc Hunter is properly stepping away from his traditional identity of fist him and roll him, now puking out lightning storms like a bumhole after a bad vindaloo. I wanted this kit to be able to handle both AoE to slay out hordes of enemies and great weapon damage to take on mages and bosses. I've chosen to use the Foetracer exotic helmet. This gives us a tier 4 weapon surge whenever we damage a powerful combatant with an ability. It's recently buffed. It used to last for 10 seconds. This was perhaps its only downfall, as it is quite the strong exotic for DPS, but it was niche as most encounters last roughly 30 odd seconds, and it was hard to get all your abilities to line up in that correct order to do optimal DPS. Now though, they've extended that timer out to 15 seconds, making it extremely easy to loot. In any DPS phase, you'll normally start off by whipping your super at them. That's going to give us 15 seconds of uninterrupted tier 4 weapon surge. So we don't need any mods on our kicks, and of course that 25% weapon surge is going to be higher than our tier 3 we would put on our legs anyway. We just need to save either a grenade, melee or ascension to deploy halfway through our DPS window to start that surge over again. I love using the ascension aspect, particularly whilst fighting mages, as I can blink in and drop that jolt directly down on top of their heads, then shoot away. This also amplifies us. This now gives us a bonus 15% damage resist. It also gives us that speed boost, more mobility, and more weapon handling and reload. This Arc Hunter is extremely agile, and to take advantage of that, we're using Spark of Focus. So after sprinting for a short time, our class ability regeneration is increased after 1.25 seconds, granting us an additional 150% base class ability regeneration rate. This is going to allow us to run 40 or 50 mobility and still have those max stacks. I'm running one bolstering detonation mod that's going to boost our class energy whenever we cause damage with grenades. There's a bonus 12% class juice for 7 seconds, and with focusing strike we are granted that same 12% for 7 seconds whenever we land a melee attack. With ample amounts of class ability energy, we can abuse that ascension or gambler's dodge so we can throw out more melees. We'll be utilizing the Tempest strike. This saw a 60% damage buff recently. While sliding, we activate our melee ability. This unleashes a devastating uppercut attack that travels along the ground, both damaging and jolting targets it hits. This is the first time since its inception that I've actually loved this melee attack. It used to tickle, then it maimed, now it murders and spreads arc streams to all other enemies surrounding them. In the past it was hard to pick this over combo blow because infinite melees over one attack didn't really feel viable. But now when we defeat jolted targets, it's going to grant us a stack of bolt charge. We get those 10 stacks either from our abilities or sustained weapon damage, and at maximum stacks it's going to chuck out an additional arc storm from our abilities. With the flashover mod in the artifact, whilst we're amplified, this destruction is going to grow even greater, going roughly from a 20k attack to a 55k attack. We'll head this melee up fairly quickly, even with like 40 strength, as when we receive a stack of bolt charge, this is going to grant us melee energy. So the more targets we jolt, the quicker we're going to get this back. So between our ascension and our Tempest strike, we've got lightning diarrhea on tap. With a constant supply of ability spam, our Foetracer is always ready to go. We want to pick the right weapons for the right bosses, but there is one weapon in particular that I think has grown immensely this season. The Edge of Concurrence Glaive has been a joke since launch, but I truly feel glaives have never been in a better place. If you've been a fan of a special ammo sidearm, I'd really love if you could put that down for a second and try out a glaive. They have extremely similar ammo counts, and as the sidearms got brought down, the glaives got brought up, and our glaive projectiles actually do slightly more damage. But it's actually the range, shield duration, handling, reload, aim assist, airborne effectiveness. Every one of these got brought up this season, so they are now extremely easy to target our foes with. Not to mention they also made that third attack in the glaive combo hit harder. A base projectile is going to hit for 19,383, but when affected by the Foetracer, this is going to go to 24k. What I truly love about the concurrence though is its ult attack is proper strong now. We can long press our reload when we have 6 stacks of it. We get these stacks by either projectile hits or kinetic hits. This is going to unleash a massive attack of chain lightning on impact. It's truly massive AoE, but it's also great direct damage at 69k, and with that Foetracer surge, it hits for nearly 87,000. I'm really vibing with this kit, as when we're doing our melee attacks, we're stacking both Glaive charges and bolt charges at the same time. Now all of this is great, and it's about to be better, as it also got a new perk. Bungo gave this Glaive jolting feedback, so when we shoot an enemy 3 times, it's going to make them jolted. More jolts, more damage, more AoE, more abilities. I'm rocking Spark of Frequency. Our melee hits, and yes, this does include our Glaive, will increase our weapon's reload speed and stability for a short time. And whilst amplified, these effects are increased, and you increase your stacks of bolt charge from all sources. This will literally double the amount of stacks we earn. Now our Glaive is capable of taking everything through minors through to champs, but you want to pair it with the right heavy weapon for the boss that you are facing. Maybe your favorite sword for Crota, a GL for Fogoth, and a linear for Oryx, for example. I'm running overclock and load, so whilst we're amplified or have a bolt charge, our arc weapons are going to gain increased handling and reload speed. With hold the line, whilst we're surrounded, our machine guns and glaives gain increased reload speed and stability. And final blows are going to heal us. With no bell, our rapid glaive melee final blows are going to grant us special ammo. And when blocking with our glaives, this is going to increase our melee damage by roughly 45% for 5 seconds. I'm also running a special ammo finder on my helmet and that special ammo finisher on my class item to help keep me up. My last fragment is going to be Spark of Ions, so when defeating a jolted target, this has a chance to create us an ionic trace. This is going to generally feed us back ability energy the entire time we are attacking. And with Spark of Beacons, whilst we are amplified, our arc special or heavy weapon final blows are going to create a blinding explosion. This is going to make it a lot safer to go in there and jab their buddies, stir it up, get the guts, get our heals, and find another fight. Now feel free to pause here for my mods, fragments, and artifact, but there will be a dim link in the description down below. Our Arc Hunter finally has a welcome change to the status quo. We got all our bases covered with ad clear, survivability, and DPS. But what are your thoughts in the comments down below? Do you think we are done with Roly Poly? If you think so, give it a go. Make sure to thumb it if you dug it, sub if you're new, and as always, tippy tie my damies, what a tie.